Hey guys, so I promised you a video of my long arm, my new to me long arm. She's used, but this is her. And yes, it's in my living room because as you can see, she's 12 foot long and it takes up a huge amount of space. But yeah, it's a handy quilter frame. So it's the good frame. I don't know how old this frame is. I'm assuming about the time the machine was bought, which it was purchased new in 2012. But it's got adjustable legs. We had to put a board back there for me to walk on and to level it. Sorry, the birds are gonna be noisy. I've got this quilt loaded. I'm gonna just dive into some custom free motion. But this is the girl. She's got a very low stitch count for her age, but she runs beautifully. I just basted this down. I put wide borders on my quilts because I like to trim them down. That way I don't have to worry about getting an exact 1/8 inch, you know, and the fabric stretches and moves and what have you as you quilt. So I can always trim this down quite a bit and still have a very nice border on it. So got my clamps on. The back is a gray bed sheet, believe it or not. But yeah, there she is. And so yeah, I'm hoping to get started. I've been practicing feathers and everything. I'm horrible at them. But I figured with this quilt, because it's got a lot of these little bitty spaces, I can really practice like echoing, doing some paisleys, do them very easily in the small stuff. And then here, I don't know, I'm thinking about doing like a C and just kind of coming around and echoing a couple of times all the way through and try to do all of this. And then I've got the border. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to do on that. I thought I would do like a figure 8 from the top to the bottom because that would give me good practice to go along here to learn how to keep everything kind of even, which I could mark it out on another quilt if I needed to. But these border lines really help to keep the design where you want it instead of just being all over the place and kind of crazy. So yeah, but that's the quilt. I made this, I'm not sure how long ago. It's been a while, but anyway, so I'm gonna get started. Maybe I'm still nervous. I'm nervous. I don't want to ruin a quilt top, but on the other hand, you know, I've got to practice, and it's just for me. It's not a customer or nothing like that crazy. So and you know, I'm kind of like Angela Walter says, once you know, once you fill all this stuff in and get the whole quilt done, you're not going to really notice the imperfections. And I found that to be true with one of the quilts that I did with the loops and swirls. So here she is. So I just did loops and swirls on this. Very simple design, but look, it's beautiful. I mean, it turned out, I washed it and you got all the crinkle, but you can see, like, I just did super simple. And I thought, I got to a few places where like my loop wasn't perfect. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's going to look awful. You know, some of them, instead of being round, were kind of flat. And I thought, oh, that's going to be awful. You know, right here, I got lost and didn't know where to go. And then I just made a quick loop. But it turned out, I mean, it's gorgeous. I think it turned out really, really good, considering this was only like my second quilt that I ever did. So let me show you the back. Yeah, so I mean, and it's kind of all over. Like I had no, like this one, you can see it's not round. It's kind of curved, but you just, you know, you can't hardly notice that stuff once you get it all quilted. And so I got to get comfortable with that fact. I'm trying to make it perfect, and it's just not going to be perfect. I mean, you know. But yeah, so this quilt turned out beautifully. I mean, like I said, it's gorgeous. And nobody's really going to look at the quilting, right? So if I've learned anything so far, and that is, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be fine in the end, because you're never going to notice the small things that you might have messed up on. I felt like I messed up a whole bunch on this quilt, but once it's all done and got the binding on and it's a beautiful quilt, nobody knows. I mean, nobody knows. So, you know, granted, it's not the computerized edge to edge, but I did this all myself by hand. Here's another place I got lost and didn't know where to go. And so, yeah, there's a few of those, but this one's a little square. But, you know, like I said, overall, nobody's ever going to notice. So yeah, so I'm getting ready to start my third quilt. I'm going to try to do a little more custom stuff on this one instead of just an all over design. But I'll tell you one thing too, that I thought when I bought a long arm I had to absolutely have a stitch regulator. I cannot get along with that stitch regulator because it makes the motor start and stop, you know, as you speed up and slow down. It makes the head of the machine very jerky for me, and it's already pretty heavy, you know, when you're moving it around on your long arm. I mean on the tracks, it's pretty heavy. It moves smoothly and it's easy, but there's a lot of weight there. So when you have that starting and stopping, I could not get along with it at all. And then I started making, you know, I would start to move, the machine would pick up, then it would get going really, really fast, and I wasn't quite ready, or I was going straight sideways and my thread would break. I was having a lot of thread breaking issues. So I put mine over onto the manual stitch, and as I showed you on that quilt that I've already finished, it does a beautiful stitch as long as you control your speed. And so I've learned how, or I'm learning how to keep my speed steady and at a certain pace for the stitch that I want, the size stitch that I want, and it turns out beautifully. It's much smoother, it seems like to me. So if you're considering getting a long arm or a sit down, or even putting a stitch regulator on your domestic machine to quilt, test one out on a machine somewhere first to see if you're going to like it. On a regular sewing machine, I could see it being okay, maybe, because that machine's more stationary and you're actually moving the fabric instead, the quilt. I don't know, but I would definitely test one out, because like I said, I thought I had to have one, and I do not have to have one. I do much better work with the manual, and that's just for me personally. Some other people can get along with them great. Maybe with more experience I can learn to use it better. I just know that just starting out, it's just not, I don't really like it, so I keep it turned off. This has it built in, this machine has it built in, but I keep it turned off. Yeah, so, and then of course pantos, I want to start doing pantos too. I've got the table for it. It's got the rear handles and everything that can be done from the rear with the lasers, so I could start doing some pantos maybe in the near future, if I can find some that I like, and practice with those too. So there's a lot of options for some really cool quilting on this. But anyway, I thought I'd bring you along and show you. I don't have a name for her. Somebody asked me the other day, are you going to give her a name? I don't have a name. I don't usually name my machines. I just call them her. But anyway, I thought I'd just show you guys right quick what I was working on and get ready to do, and show you the long arm. Like I said, I'm super excited to have her. She is used. I couldn't afford a new one. I wish I could, but I couldn't. But she's beautiful. She sews beautifully, does a beautiful stitch. Been very well maintained. I have all the booklets, the manuals, everything with her. It came, you know, with the frame, the red snapper system, which I absolutely love, and also a bobbin winder, really nice, expensive bobbin winder. So, yeah. So there she is. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this. I'll maybe do a video on some of the quilting as I go. We'll see how good or bad I am. I don't know. Practice makes perfect, though. I do know that. Have a great day.